LEC post-game lobby. My name is Shox, and I'm joined by Nymira and by Elyoya. Give us life. Yes, amazing. Congratulations, Elyoya. Big win for you.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, G2 is at the moment looking like the toughest opponent, so it's good that we collect the win, and even more needed after last game we had, which we should not talk much about. Extel game. Let's not. No, but I'm joking. It feels good to have a win against G2.
I mean, Excel's also a very strong opponent, right?
Yeah.
But good to get these wins versus G2. We were talking a little bit, and you said, oh, maybe I didn't do that much. We'll take a look at some of the replays for the game in just a second. But you had such an important role to initiate, and you did it time after time. Does it just feel bad because you feel like you died too much, or what?
I mean, I feel like I didn't have much impact this game, and I mean, being honest, I think Jankos gapped me in early game, so I think that's... I'm really critical of myself. I think I could have played way better, so yeah, I'm not the happiest, but my team carried me, so I'm happy.
So that makes me really interested, bro, because I think that obviously we do have like some teams which play early games really differently. G2 is one of them, Excel's one of them. Have you kind of had to sit there and like learn from them, or are you just finding your own way through the meta right now?
I like to play my own way the early game, and whatever I feel like is the strongest, I will follow like my thoughts. But I usually watch LPL and LCK teams more about early game. Like, if I had to watch an early game team in Europe, it would probably be... I mean, I like Extel a lot, so I would maybe watch Extel or... Yeah, probably Extel.
Okay. In the trade, of course, you went for the Wukong. Volibear went over to the other side, which shows what you think about that in general. Where do you think the state of the flexibility is at now with the jungle? We've asked a couple of junglers already. But do you feel happy and in a place where you can actually contribute also from a pick and ban standpoint? Or is it still kind of the same?
No, I think you can contribute a lot with the jungle pick. I mean, right now there is quite a lot of picks in like competitive. You can see
compared to like some other time. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Like,
yeah.
I mean, there were some times of only Udyr Volibear. So right now there is Vi, there is Velvet, there is Lee Sin, there is Trundle, there is Viego, there is
oh my god, actually,
Wukong, even Taliyah in some LPL games. There is, I've seen some Kindred Graves. Like there is many champs in the jungle. So I think it has a lot of flexibility in the jungle. Yeah.
What do you think about Velvet?
I mean,
it's already won a game today, so
mixed feelings about this champ, because so the problem I have with this champ is I played some games and the E doesn't prioritize champions. So if you make a gank, so if you make a gank and there is a minion that is lower HP than the champion, it will hit the minion. So I have had some like rampage moments like in those moments, but yeah, I mean, I think the champion is good, and if you can snowball with the champ, I think it's really oppressive.
Yeah, so there are obviously some familiarity things there. I think one of the things I think about Bel'Veth is that it's a very particular champion that offers damage, like not a huge amount else. You just kind of annoy people in the front line. You obviously mentioned a lot of champions in that whole, like there are a lot of picks. Do you feel like because of the other lanes, though, in terms of not having as much engaged, that you kind of have to force yourself onto more of the Wukong or the Volibear? Are you finding yourself needing to be in that role more?
I think it's nice to have engaged from jungle, and if you can have it, like if the champ is strong, you will always go for it, since jungle is most of the times the playmaker.
Yeah, the
like you're in pretty much every lane, so it's pretty good to have engaged on these kind of champs. And yeah, I would say that if you can go for them, like it's like pretty good. But at the moment, I would say Wukong and Volibear are looking like the strongest junglers in this patch.
Yeah, Monkey and Bear, so strong. The Kia player of the game. Oh, it jumped forward. I don't know if I'm supposed to announce it already. I bet I can. The Kia player of the game is Unforgiven with 57% of the votes. He was absolutely going off. He's pretty soft-spoken. We don't talk to him that much. How is he doing with kind of the new mid laner and everything? Clearly, it's going quite well.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's adapting really well. I mean, not like he needed that. I'm glad to finally see him having good performances, because I think at the beginning he was not so confident on himself, or at least what you could see from outside in stage. I felt like he was not as comfortable, and today he stepped up a lot, and I'm really proud of how he played today.
Yeah. I remember when he first came onto the stage in spring as well. You know, he used to be a Draven player in the URLs. He actually was a very aggressive player. So for them to see him like take a step back, play the Jinx and the FLs, and you know, he was pretty good right at the start. Struggled towards the second half of the split.
Yeah.
See him again, refine that confidence. I think that's pretty important. So it's good to see him do that again.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, I think he's pretty confident again, and that's the most important on this. I mean, what I believe is the most important on this kind of new players.
Yeah. And when we talk about the mid lane, we actually saw a clip, or we got a clip for the analyst desk where it showed team fights and it showed how Nisqy was contributing in the team fights, and it was clear that he was calling a lot when it came to macro, and it gave you a chance to kind of just focus on what you needed to focus on. And Kaiser, who doesn't speak as much actually in the team fights as I thought because he's so outspoken when it comes to interviews, can you talk to me through how your communication has evolved since getting Nisqy?
I mean, I think Nisqy helps a lot in team fights. Like he's really vocal. Like he will always call a target, even if it's wrong, whatever. Like he will always call a target.
There actually was once where you called we shouldn't go, and he said we should go, and you went. So
what?
There was a team fight, and you were like, I don't think we should go, and he was like, we should go. And you just rushed.
I mean, I'm just like like if he tells me to go, I will go. I will trust him.
So what I'm getting from this is Nisqy is actually the hype man, not just the shot caller. He just hypes you up.
It's like, go guys.
He likes hyping. Like I mean, him and Armut do a pretty good job because.
Oh, we can hear them. Yeah.
I remember one play. Like I'm going on bot and Armut. Like I saw my ultimate, it was like 10 seconds of cooldown, and Armut tells me, go and ult him. I just flash and like press my R button, and I'm like, I don't have ult. And Armut is like, oh, sorry. And I'm like, oh.
Armut needs like ult timers or like everyone's reminder of when your ult is up.
I mean, I should have also looked, but...
yeah, exactly. You should have just looked. Like, no, you need to tell him in chat.
No, it's good. Like you see how much I trust my teammates, right? Like he just tells me to flash ultimate, I flash an ultimate. I don't have ult. It's like, not my fault.
Turn off your targeting computer. Trust the force.
I love that. I'd also want to check in with you because we talked a couple of times over the year, and obviously it's been bad moments. I feel like now it's going better. So how are you feeling as you're doing? Maybe not in this game, as you say, you got gapped, but...
I mean, I think I'm doing pretty okay. I think I'm doing quite good. I think I still have a lot to improve on, and right now I'm not happy with the performance I'm showing, and more on these past 2 games. So yeah, I mean, also we played the 2 hardest teams in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I still think I should improve a bit more. And yeah, I mean, I think that for playoffs we're gonna have a better version of Mad Lions, because right now we're struggling a bit in finishing the games faster.
Yeah.
But I believe we are a really hard worker team, and that will fix many problems we have right now.
Yeah, there's definitely still a little bit of sometimes the crazy Mad Lions that I think sometimes in a late game, like they should have this, but
You never know.
You never know. Keep them on their toes. Let's get the standings up, because despite you not being completely happy, this is a great position to be in. In fact, 5 teams are tied in the first place at 4-2, Nymera.
I'm actually trying to remember if we've ever had it at this point in the split, this late into it, with 6 games played. Like, obviously it gets like more statistically unlikely for this to happen, but I'm actually really interested in getting your opinion on, is this actually how close the league is? Or is this just like a random occurrence?
I think it's pretty accurate to how the league is going to be. I think there is not much difference between the good teams, and there is going to be... I mean, I think the 5 that right now that we are tied, I think we are the 5 best teams in the league. And I think it's going to be... Like, the difference between us at the moment is not so much, but it will be way different at the end of the split. Like, it will show who has worked the hardest, I believe.
Okay, it's all about peaking at the right time as well, right?
Yeah.
But it's really cool to see this, and we had kind of a top 6 showdown. Who do you think the gatekeepers, or the team that is most likely to slot into the 6th place? Right now it's Astralis tied with Vitality.
I think Vitality will be the 6th place team. I think Astralis has been benefited by the schedule, but I still think Astralis has improved a lot from last split. And I think that, I mean, I'm really excited to see like their roster. I like their players, so yeah.
Do you like them because they're old school players, right? Some of them.
Yeah, I mean, Mac and Nisqy have both played with Shershe and Chachi.
Yeah.
Also, I think Kobe. I think Mac has played with Kobe. So they talked me about it. They like them, so
so you have to like them too.
Yeah.
Okay, I see
I'm forced to it.
I see it. But let's take a look at the schedule. Speaking of that, because tomorrow we do have Astralis versus Vitality in Game 3, Nymera. So basically a direct fight for that place.
And maybe it's too early to kind of talk about what you're saying in terms of seeing where that hard work starts to pay off. Maybe we have to check in a bit later for that. But if you are going to start getting towards that coveted 6th spot, getting into playoffs, this is not one you can really afford to drop.
No, and for you as well, I think, up versus Misfits, who's had a lackluster start to the season. But you were telling me, we got to be careful for those games.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just the Mad Lions games. Like, it looks like we have Soul, we have been winning the whole game, and suddenly just they take Elder and they finish the game. I'm not talking from my experience, but it can happen, you know. It can happen, so.
It's never happened in the LEC. No one's ever done that.
No one has ever
You've never done that.
I mean, like,
who would do that?
You think I would lose a smite? No,
the thing is, Elyoya, it's like two sides of the coin, and it's all the karma you get back, because sometimes you win games like that. You actually, specifically, Mad Lions sometimes have these crazy backdoors or like this end team fight. So that means sometimes you're going to be in the losing end as well, you know?
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not a finals reverse sweep, I'm happy.
Okay. We didn't have to succumb to that yet. So G2 versus Fnatic is tomorrow as well. It is our LG Ultra Gear match of the week. So cheeky prediction, Naimira?
I'm going to go with G2. I think that their early game is still looking fairly solid. I think Jankos today, again, had a really good performance. Draft kind of fell apart a little bit after that top lane skirmish, went a bit awry. They kind of put a bit of a timer on their composition, but I think
they have to draft better tomorrow, G2.
I think they have to drive themselves a little more wiggle room. Today was a bit hard for that. I think with the way that they're playing, though, I would see them edging out Fnatic.
Okay.
I think G2 will take it also. I think it will come down a lot to mid jungle, and I think at the moment G2 mid jungle is one of the strongest. So, I mean, also Broken Blade is playing really well. I think they will take it, G2.
Where do you think Humanoid and Razor need work in the mid jungle?
I don't think they are playing as much together because they are playing more of a scaling champs on mid lane. So like Razor cannot really impact mid lane that much.
Yeah.
And they have to scale, and once they scale, then they are like working together, but they are not so much on the same page, I would say, because they cannot really play together. If like mid has control mage, they are just going to lose the 2v2, so they cannot really play through mid, they have to play through bot.
I see, interesting.
It feels like a couple of those cracks kind of been papered over with Volibears. It feels like Razor's been going towards that quite a lot. I think that allows you to... It's a really good champion, right? And that's not a bad thing. Noticing that a champion kind of solves a weakness of yours is pretty good. It's just whether you can do that with more than one champion, which might get removed, or of course Jankos is playing it today and has been playing it a lot, whether it's just going to get taken away. I wonder if Fnatic have to just have something else just around the corner to make sure that they can get through that.
I think it's really interesting. Razor gave a couple of interviews also where he was like, oh, I felt like I had to change my role and my lanes demanded a lot from me. I feel like that's kind of that's a big one, right, for a jungler, because this means that at this point in time, or when that interview was given like a week ago, they're still kind of figuring the ideal way out to play, right?
I mean, I think Razor is just playing for his lanes a lot, and he's sometimes dropping too much, in my opinion, and it's a bit hard. But yeah, he had to adapt a lot, because in Misfits we saw a completely different Razor, which was way more carry. And he was the one demanding the resources, and now he's the one that has to give the resources. So I think it's been hard for him, but he has been playing pretty good.
Yeah, and I mean, he's adapting, and I'm sure he will also rise to this challenge. Now, before we call it a night, another quick reminder, you can grab your tickets for the LEC Summer Finals at LEC...
Malmö.
Yeah, in Malmö at lec.gg/
Malmö.
Malmö, exactly. And also, it's written in the link with a regular O, not an Ö, or an umlaut O, if you're German. You know what I mean. Really excited to go there. Let's take...
Looks like a face, like a little...
Oh, yeah, it does. I'm going to take the selfie, if you guys don't mind, as I sign us off. Just stand up, please. I'm wearing the high heel, so I'll just go down a little bit. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. And we will see you all tomorrow for another day of LEC. Bye-bye. Malmö.
Malmö.
Week 3 of the LEC.
Welcome, beautiful crowd. I've missed him. He's back. I'm Drankos. This is my good friend, Catril. Thrilled to be back. Thrilled to be...
Okay, yeah. Is it my turn now?
Who's going to get instant crop? Where is it going to go? The only thing that matters is the steal, but they're going to hold it. They're not going to finish the Baron. They're going to look for the fight instead. It was just a giant bait. Neon instantly in the backline, and there will be no survivors this time.
If they play some kind of range support here, they can punish. Oh,
yes! There it is. We wanted it.
Oh my God!
He's pushing for a kick. He's going to kick perks back to the team, but he's still got 2 more dashes. He goes gold. He buys a brief. Lissandro, that's going to be 1 reset. Clones now starting to come out. Maybe, just maybe it'll be enough, but it's Alfari in the backside just tearing through them. SK cannot stand toe-to-toe. Haru absolutely obliterating SK in this exchange.
Cool, excellent. I will play...
Unspeakable violence from Rogue.
charm a possibility. Trimby with the flash, Mickey on the flank. Cyclone in on the backline, the cannon barrage going out as well. Mickey's already popped. The divine intervention on Marcoon isn't going to be enough. Nuke Duck walking away, Finn has to do the same.
Sure, by all means.
But this looks really troll to me. Maybe they managed to do it, but it just looks really troll to me. Finn manages to have a good flash. Okay, Finn fucked up the flash.
SK firing back, but yet to find a kill, a clean charm. Gilius just deleted.
Right, they could never miss that.
Right.
Flash engage on comp, he has no flash from the earlier play. Marcoon's looking for it as well. Exhaust goes down. Trimby with a good bodyguard position here. Marcoon's going to try and get away. But cannon barrage is just too darn broken. Rogue with 2 kills. Leading to such aggression from the mad support.
Inkos now hovering around though.
After that early play of action, it feels like...
hello.
Kaiser flashes forward for the handshake, but comes back. They know he doesn't have a flash. That's genius. Absolutely beautiful stuff from Kaiser.
Creates some pressure. Oh, sneaky again.
Caps a flash. He's going to use it. Unforgiven flashes forward. Portal jump away. The sleep's going to... Oh, Caps! Oh, my God!
Can they hear us now?
Yes, yes they can.
Yes, they can.